Wow. For those of you who are saying turnabout is fair play, this isn't really fair play. I mean, if you really believe that your hurt feelings equal someone's death, but you know who I'm talking to, the dick police. Hey, if you are reading this screen, it is correct. Hannah Grace Cobb, everyone's white girl of the moment, especially with the dick police and racism, will walk free. If you've been under a rock, she was arrested on February the 23rd of this year in the shooting death of her boyfriend, father of two of her children. Two of his children, as he has a total of four. Telvin Osborne, but he called himself Telbo Rackins on social media. And this guy just became an example of the easiest target in the history of our great society. Hannah Grace Cobb. I used to date a girl named Grace. She was a real bitch, but that was over a decade ago, so that's water under a bridge. A grand jury has declined to press charges against Miss Cobb. One could say they believe that asinine story that she gave when she was arrested, that she was just merely checking her gun after her and Osborne were on a night drinking. Let's get this straight. She was drunk. She was checking her gun while it was pointed at her black baby daddy's chest. Okay. Let me go ahead and say it. If it were Telbo that had shot Hannah, this, we all know, would be a very different convo. One that included Telbo in the courtroom with strange bruises and knots on his head with a guilty verdict. But of course that didn't happen. So why wasn't there more outcry or outrage from the public? Why is there not anyone calling this injustice out? Well, people are calling it out, but when these types of things happen, especially when a young black man gets shot in the information age, the first thing that somebody is going to do is check his social media. And I have to say, for old Telbo Rackins here, his social media has to be one of the most potent examples of self-hate that I've ever seen. I mean, even it goes past not dating black women. He just didn't seem to like the skin he was in. In fact, he hated it. And I mean, I got some screenshots flashing across here, and that made everyone, just kind of turn their noses up to him instead. They didn't care if racism took this man out. And, the boasting that, this is a matriarchal community. The black community is a matriarchy. People can get mad all they want about this. If for him to have said the things that he have said about black women, you can kind of understand why there would be some that are celebrating this man's death, even though they're not getting the bigger picture. They quite frankly don't care. When I talk about it's black folks and, white supremacists. Yeah. The kind of black people, who would speak against this guy is, the archetype would probably be sisterhood, simps, big backs, more big backs. Just the pro-black community, which is nothing but pro-feminist anyway, but they pro-black, them Dr. Umar Slowtep types. But hey, for black men who feel as if this is an injustice, and it most certainly is, this does not have to be a hill that you die on. I mean, for real. Can you imagine you loving yourself as a black man? And I mean, I know that's probably a little odd choice of words to use. But anyway, if you love being in your own skin, how would you believe that an interaction with this young man would be? I don't think it'll be very good. I don't think that he'll be saying, "Oh, you brother, my brother." No, he ain't saying nothing like that, especially according to his social media. But, at the end of the day, the only ones that you really are obligated to be loyal to are your family members and your closest of friends. I mean, I wouldn't expect, I'm past the whole fist pump at every black person I see. And it's not a self-hate thing. I love my people. But looking at Telbo here, he's not going to be somebody that I would fight for or I would sit up there and constantly defend. We need to sweep this one under the rug. He got exactly what he wanted. For someone to, go on social media and say that he's going to perform a bestiality act, instead of, having sexual intercourse with a black woman, he'd rather do that, and it has to be a white dog. I mean, come on now. You set yourself up. Yeah, because we are a very sensitive people. We do not like it when, black people, step outside and, especially black men. I mean, sometimes black women can kind of slide with it, but black men definitely. No, we can't slide with, constant self-hate. Yeah, because when something like this happens, you get shot in the chest by your preference, then not only are people not going to feel sorry for you, they're going to drag you. Yes, we have sunk so low that we'll drag dead people for simply hurting our feelings. Yeah, this dude clearly did not get the memo of Kendrick Johnson. I mean, for those of you can look Kendrick Johnson's story up. In fact, I'll probably leave a link in the description so you can check out that story for yourself. But in the same state also of Georgia, I mean, this is also where Ahmaud Arbery happened. When they have the opportunity, they get pretty trigger happy with us. But as far as the missing the bigger picture comment that I made earlier, yes, we're missing the bigger picture. She got away with killing a black man. She clearly got away with it. There's no justice to that. I'm not cutting the bitch a break. She got away with it. Ain't no accidental in that. Even if you were inebriated, what the fuck is your hand doing on a gun? Like, not even so much as a manslaughter charge. Racism wins again. But, some of us will work with racism to take one of us out. and that is a fact. No, I'm not angry at the social media reaction for this guy. I'm not going to say he deserved what he got. But at the same time, I understand why he's getting dragged. He obviously didn't know our people any better than he did to be doing some shit like that. And, even if he had some bad experiences, he didn't have enough exposure. No real black man speaks like that. So I want the people listening to understand that, yes, it is okay to not think of black men collectively as this guy thinks. It doesn't make any sense. And I understand, the social media climate for black men. Most black folks want to sit there and find a reason to hate on a black man. And it's a very popular thing, despite what you may hear. But, I mean, if you want to so-called quote unquote, sit this one out, it's okay. But at the same time, don't act like that you don't approve of this sort of racism. I mean, we know who a lot of you really are. I know who a lot of you really are. And, it ain't something that's good for me to observe. If any black man dates or marries outside the race, you want to find a reason to hate on the guy. And that's the guys that don't even say anything or put down their own race. So for this guy to pop up and, said what he said, just like that Christian Obenselli guy, I mean, shit, many of you got exactly what you wanted. So, I mean, all I can say for this one, have at it. But you can admit it, the only thing that Telvin Osborne needed to do to earn him that much hate is date a white woman. If he didn't say any of that stuff on social media and he got killed by his white girlfriend, you still would have felt the same way about him. And you can't bullshit me. This is brutally honest over here. So, but Telvin Osborne definitely did not do himself any favors by saying any of that. And yeah, look, we got black women that are family members, man. Some of that should offend you. Like, what the fuck kind of shit this guy was on. Oh, well, nobody has to deal with him anymore. I mean, but some of y'all out here acting like this white girl, y'all hero. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you along with her. And I'll end it there. So, hey, Telvin Osborne, rest in peace. And, as some are saying, rest in preference. The dick police actually won one. They take that W and they're going to celebrate it. All right. Till the next time, folks. Till the next time.